How's it going, everybody? Savvier saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball content. If you enjoy or find this video helpful, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe, so A, you don't miss out on any future content, but B, so we can, keep pushing this content out further and further to more people, so that hopefully that, it can help them too. So yeah, that being said, today we're going to be doing another equipment guide. In the equipment guide, at some point, I will be mentioning the rules of entry for the, the 200 sub giveaway. Now, I do want to preface, because someone did mention this in the last equipment guide that I did. Someone had mentioned that not every equip that I bring up is available for people to farm at the time of recording. And I do that on purpose. I do that on purpose to show, options. I think one of the main reasons I started doing this, well, not I think, one of the main reasons I started doing this was the Game Press tier lists tend to only list the 3, I guess, most optimal equipments, at least in their opinion. And I've always felt like, every character has a multitude of options. Like, there are a lot of equipments in this game. So I will try my best from now on going forward to mention whether or not the equip that I'm mentioning is farmable, and if it is, where you can find it. So without further ado, we're going to hop into it for 17. I will do one of these tomorrow for 18. Yeah, let's hop for the first equipment. So first up, we've got the Awaken. This should be fun. And this one I like a lot. Now, normally, I don't necessarily like to do double offense, but it does have some beefiness behind it as well. It's got a pure buff for blast defense based on the number of androids you have, which he's either going to be with androids or he's going to be with 18 on Universal Survival Saga. So this works out pretty well for him. You've also got health, which is always a phenomenal stat to have, and at 12.5 is really good too. And then double offenses. Now, again, this is one that you can farm, and you can actually farm this one via the Saiyan equipment missions, because the unawakened version applies to Saiyans, but then once you awaken it with the Ultra Space Time Rush medals, it becomes exclusively available to Android 17 and Androids / Saga from the movies. So yeah, I think this is a great first equip to start with, and we move on to the next one. Switching it up a little bit, we've got Haya number 1. Now, this one you cannot farm right now, but if you do have a couple lying around unawakened that you would like to awaken and maybe see if you can get a gold roll, highly recommend it, because 20% on strike attack is phenomenal to start with. And then on the back end over here, we've got damage to Hybrid Saiyans or Super Saiyans, both of which are very annoying and threatening in this meta right now. Now, in terms of Hybrid Saiyans, it's a little less so. You've got the Future Gohan, you've got Trunks, and you've got obviously Gohan, but it still ends up being very useful. Now, granted, Super Saiyans does take care of the LF Future Gohan as well, so I would say that that's kind of the one you would want to try and roll for. But there are a lot of people, like myself included, that just don't want to deal with Gohan. Next up, we've got the Platinum equip for the Universal Survival Saga characters, and this is still farmable right now, but I don't know how long it's going to be farmable. So if you can, just go in and farm up what you can. I know the rates were just terrible in terms of drops, in terms of rolls, but at the end of the day, it is worth it if you can get a good roll on it, because 35% to strike attack is bananas, and then you've got 25% to blast defense, key recovery, and special move. Like, this is undoubtedly one of the best equips in the game. It's absolutely worth your resources, despite how terrible the rolls are. Next, we've got I'm an Elite. You can farm this up in the EX Zenkai Vegeta event, and what's nice about this one is not only is it 20% to strike attack, but you've got 30% to both defenses for 20 timer counts, which is really nice. Now, granted, it's only against Saiyans, but I mean, pretty much every YouTuber says it in just about all of their videos when it comes terms to like effects that only apply to Saiyans. It sucks that it's limited to one tag, but it's a tag that you're going to be seeing very regularly. Next up, we've got Explosive Clash. This works incredibly well for every Universal Survival Saga character. And what's really nice about this is that, it can work for either range types or strike types. Well, melee types, rather. Because, you get a pure buff based on whether you're a range type or a melee type. And since he is a melee type, he gets this buff just for existing. On top of that, it's 18% to strike defense and 12% to key recovery. Very solid equip overall. Alright, so really quickly, let's talk giveaway details. So in terms of giveaway details, it's going to be very simple. It's going to be very similar to what we did on the last one. There's going to be a post, like a thank you post, that's going to be, just a small edit that I do. It'll say thank you for 200 subs. And so you'll take that post. If you're on Twitter, you're going to quote tweet it. You're going to quote tweet it with saying 200 sub giveaway. and then underneath that, you're going to put your favorite trio to run in PvP. Last time it was talking about your favorite unit. This time it'll be your favorite trio to run in PvP. So the 3 units you like using the most. So again, you're going to quote tweet it, 200 sub giveaway, and then the trio that you like running most. That is for the Twitter entries. In terms of the Instagram entries, is going to be very similar. The post will also be up on Instagram. What you're going to do is you're going to share that post to your story, put 200 sub giveaway, the trio that you like using most in PvP, and the catch with Instagram is you have to tag me. If you don't tag me on Instagram, I'm not going to see it. The quote tweets, I'll see all of those no matter what, but the share to your stories, I will not see them unless you tag me. So if you want to be entered, make sure you tag me if you're doing your entry on Instagram. Alrighty, that being said, let's move on to the next equip. Next up, we've got Dr. Gero's computer. I've talked about this in just about every single equipment video that I've done. I personally believe that this is easily the most versatile equip in the game. Unfortunately, you can't keep farming it right now, but for anybody who's got a couple left over, maybe you want to do a couple rerolls. I say it all the time, because you can get double strike attack, double blast attack for very high number, up to 26% on either of those stats. You can get 13 on either, so you can have a double offense equipped. And then in the middle, you have both defenses no matter what, up to 10%. So you've got double defenses no matter what. You can have double offenses, or you can have a really high percentage in one stat. And then the best part about it is again, its versatility, because it applies to all girls, androids, and regen characters. So yeah, again, you can't farm this one right now, but if you have a couple lying around, I would definitely recommend throwing some slot removers into it. Next up, we've got I Will Crush You, and it gives a nice little double defense. And on top of this, we get a pure buff per android that we have on our battle team. So again, he's with androids, or he's with 18 on Universal Survival Saga. So a pure buff to strike attack is beautiful. It's phenomenal. And this one is all androids, and you can get it in the equipment event for androids. So this is a very easy farm. Another one you can get in the Android equipment event is the Androids equip. Now this one, again, applies to all androids, and it's nice for, once again, versatility, because you can either have strike attack or blast attack, and then you got double defenses. Again, really nice to roll. You get a couple copies of each. Like I have a few strike attack copies, a few blast attack copies. Solid equip. One that you can farm up with your equipment medals from PvP is this What equip. Now this applies to Saiyans and androids. Really good equip, I feel personally, especially for the Super Saiyans you're running with Bardock, but that's not what we're focusing on. It's got 12.5 to base critical, and then it chooses between the defenses in the middle. So no biggie. It kind of goes one or the other. Doesn't really matter, I guess. And then lastly, you go between strike attack and special move. Strike attack to 16.5 and special move to 15. Now, I would say that you're better off rolling the strike attack roll, but having the special move roll, it doesn't hurt. It never hurts. So yeah, that's that. Let's move on to our final equip. Lastly, we've got Today's the Day You Pay, and this is once again something you can farm up through the equipment medals that you get through PvP. Now this one applies to every yellow unit, which is kind of interesting, and it's not necessarily the beefiest equip, but it does offer everything that I personally look for in equip, so I figured it was worth recommending, even if it was just, an honorable mention at the end. It is double defenses for 13% and strike attack for 15%, so they're not astronomically high numbers, but it does a solid job for what it wants to be. I always personally feel that a double defense equip with the stat of their choice, so if it's a melee unit, strike, or a ranged unit, blast, is nothing to sneeze at, even if it's just 13-15%. Double defenses to me is always a worthwhile choice. So yeah, that's that. Hope you guys found this helpful. Hopefully you guys will be able to farm up some of these equips for their drop in a couple of days. And yeah, hopefully we get a solid amount of entries for the giveaway. Once again, go through, make sure you watch through for those details on what you need to do for sharing it out. I gave the details for quote tweeting it on Twitter, and we gave the details for sharing it to your story on Instagram. So just make sure you watch through for that. Don't just skip around to the end here. This will hopefully be the little carrot on the stick for you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.